Hello, and welcome to the GBC Productions YouTube channel. This is episode 4. In this video, I will be replacing the socket for the SID chip on my SX64. I took the side panels off before I started filming. I have already taken the screws out, now I just need to pull the cover off. And what I'm going to do is remove the main circuit board right here. Disconnect a couple cables here. And take all the plastic clips out. They're just little push clips. There's a power connector back there, so it looks like I have to remove all 4 screws on the power supply and pull it back out of the way. Now with the power supply out of the way, I can disconnect the wires on the back of the board. Now I just have to disconnect these 2 boards from each other. One more clip to pull out. And take off the dual SID board. So now the whole circuit board's out. There's a socket that's being replaced. And I've got to go take this into my workshop and put this in my vise, and then I can start desoldering everything. Okay, now I'm all hooked up. This is the socket I will be desoldering. I'm going to put a nice wide tip in my soldering iron right here, and this will allow me to do multiple pins at once. Just like that and that. And then I'll be using a desoldering braid to pull the solder out. There's my soldering station. Just going to warm up my soldering iron in a moment here. Alright, I have now got my tripod set up. Hopefully you'll be able to see this from this angle. Everything is warming up right now. So to start, I'm just going to put some fresh solder on here. Alright, now, with some fresh solder on here, then I'll just get my desoldering braid, and that will start lifting the solder off. I do have a desoldering gun, as you can see right there, but I prefer to use the desoldering braid for this. It seems to work just as well, but especially with this soldering tip, I'm able to get in there and get a lot of pins at once. Now we'll just get the other half of the pins. Now, what I'm going to try to do, I got some fresh soldering braid. What I'm going to try to do is clean up just a little bit more and then pry the socket out. Now I'm just going to try to pry the socket out. Add a little bit of heat. The plastic piece of the socket has come off, and all the pins were left behind, so I'm going to have to go through and manually pull each one, which is fine. The socket is bad anyway, so... Okay, now I have all the holes cleaned up, and I'm just ready to put the new socket in, which I pulled from another circuit board. Okay, now I'm going to hold the socket in place and tack in a couple of pins, and then I can solder the rest in. I've put my standard tip back in, soldering iron. Now that it's holding in place, I can go through and just solder each pin. Alright, now they're all soldered in. Everything looks good. Clean the tip off a little bit, and now just turn off my soldering station and put this back in the computer. Now it's time to put the board back in. Let's take a look. The main processor before I put it back in. That's the main processor. The 6510 8-bit processor. I'll start by putting the dual SID board back in. Slide the board back in. Reconnect the power cable on the back. Push that second board in. Just have to connect a few more things. Don't forget to subscribe for more, mash that like button, and comment below. Until next time, this is Uncle D from GBC Productions, signing off.